Okay, so I had a seal that was leaking. I'm going to show you guys this the best I can. It's a seal right there, right where the shaft goes into this center tee box. There is, when you change it, I didn't film this because I was in a hurry, but when you change it, you got to pull out the shear pin that goes in there, and then there's a roll pin that's pounded down through. You got to pop that roll, or tap that roll pin out. I used a small punch to do it, but then I couldn't get this shaft off of the shaft that comes out of the box. So I started to take that universal part, the universal joint that's in there, and my brother-in-law said, you don't have to do all that. He'd stuck 2 pry bars down in there and pried out one side then the other side just real easy and slid that shaft right off. Once I did, I was able to just take a pick and punch a hole into that seal, and then I turned the pick sideways and popped the seal right out. And then I put the new seal in there. Before I put the new seal in, I took a little bit of the gear oil that was in there and I rubbed it around on that on the shaft that sticks out. That sounds messed up. Rubbed around on there so when you slide the new seal on with the rubber center piece, it doesn't tear it. And then I put some it's called Easy Bead, and it's like gasket maker type stuff. So I spread some of that on the seal and then tapped it back into place and then spread some more on it and wiped it off. That way it should never leak again. I haven't tried this yet or turned it back on, but I haven't turned this back on yet to see if it leaks, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. I'll give an update on it later. But that's what I had to do to replace that seal. I ordered it on eBay. It was $16 for that seal and free shipping. I don't know if it's cheaper other places or even through the dealer, but I just it was leaking for about 3-4 days, and I just kept an eye on it. It wasn't leaking that bad, and I ran the machine anyway, and it was fine. Like I said, I kept an eye on the fluids, and it seemed all right, but that's what I had to do to replace that seal. So now hopefully everything's good to go. If it ever stops raining, maybe I can get some mowing done. This is just a screenshot picture of the seal that I ordered. That's what it looks like. I just screenshotted off my phone, obviously, from ordering it on eBay. And I think I ordered it on Wednesday, and it said it'd be here by Monday, but it was in by Saturday morning. So that's it. Try not to hit my trailer. That would not be good. Well, it is Monday, May 1st. And I'll show you why I'm not mowing grass. Should be mowing grass. Wish I was mowing grass, but I'm not. And instead I'll go get a haircut. Oh, somebody's texting me. There. You see that? Yeah. Nastiness. That is why I am not going to get a haircut. Yeah. Sure not. Hang on a second. Okay, I'm back. That was the wife texting me, and apparently she wanted me to do something before I left. So I had to run back in and do that. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not mowing. It is starting to sprinkle again. We got an insane thunderstorm last night. Lots of heavy rain. Pretty crazy. And they're calling for severe damaging rain, storms, thunder today. It's supposed to be, they said, possible up to golf ball size hail. Ugh, it's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. You know what? This rain sucks. But to be honest with you, I'm not going to bitch about it too much because we had that 9+ week drought last year that totally killed me. really sucked. I had to do a lot of other jobs that I don't normally like to do just to keep from dipping into what I'd stashed away for my winter fund, because I don't like to dip into that. It's got to be in place by Labor Day, as you guys all know. That's how I do it. But so I had to keep doing other jobs to take care of my month-to-month type stuff, so that I didn't have to dip into that. But I'll tell you what, almost everyone, okay, I maintain 74 properties a week solo. You guys have seen a lot of my properties. I'd really like to get it down to around 60, 65, but I have a hard time saying no, especially when I know it's an easy property, it pays good money. It's kind of hard for me to say no. But the thing is I have, you know, a lot of my properties are pretty big, good size, bigger than normal size lawns. So, I mean, it takes quite a bit of work for me to get them done. But I do, and it's no big deal. And as you guys know, when I get backed up from the rain, Max will come in on certain days to help me get caught back up, which is good. He's on afternoons right now, so it works out pretty well. But and now next week they're not showing very much rain at all. They're showing not enough rain all this week, so we'll see what happens. There's only 2 properties that I have not touched yet. One of them I showed you guys in a previous video. It was completely flooded, completely underwater, which that guy's cool. He's like, I'm not worried about it. There's no way you can touch my lawn right now. So, I mean, that he's completely fine. And then there's only one other one, which she sent me a text the other day and said, I was just wondering if you were going to get to the lawn soon. It's getting a little overgrown, and it's like their vacation house, so to speak. They live one town over, but it's just another house for them. They don't live there. But that one has had a lot of water too, and I told her, I said, you know that I'll do it. It's been completely underwater, and there's just really nothing I can do with it. So I told her I would get to it this week and definitely get whatever cut that I could. So, yeah, that's pretty much the deal with that. But I mean, when you run into these rain delays, some of you guys that watch my videos that have been in this game a long time, like me, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But a lot of you guys starting off, or have only been in for a year or two, whatever, and I know, trust me, these rain delays, when you can't get out and cut these lawns, it gets you stressed to high hell and back, and you're constantly worried about it. I stopped worrying about that stuff a long time ago, and like I said, out of 74 customers, only one of them has even called me. You know, most of them have already been mowed once, or most of them have already been mowed twice so far this season. Some of them only once, but you know, they know the drill. And even a bunch of them, I've only cut part of their lawn. There's other parts that I just haven't cut, but they all know me, you know, especially customers I've had. They know that once it does dry up, I'll get in there. If there's a small area of it that I have to double cut or bag, then I do it, and I don't charge them more. I know some of you guys are like, oh my God, why don't you charge them more? What are you doing? You're crazy. You're working for free. No, I'm not. You know, you do what you got to do. You take a little pride in your work. You take a little pride in what you do. If you got to spend an extra 3-4 minutes to double cut a section, you're going to charge a customer a double cut fee for that. I mean, you're just a douchebag as far as I'm concerned. I mean, run your business the way you want, do what you want to do, but I mean, that's why I never lose customers, because I do stuff like that. And I'm not losing. I'm not leaving money on the table, as some people say, or throwing money away. I don't lose anything. You know, it takes me an extra 2-3 minutes, no big deal. It's barely burn any fuel at all. It's 2-3 minutes of my time. You know, even if it's on 10 of those lawns, you know, 2 minutes, 20 minutes, you lose throughout a day or whatever it is throughout a week, and it's not a big deal. To keep the customer happy, and then, you know, with stuff like that, they know I'll take care of them. They leave me alone. You know, they don't bug me. They know. You know, and some of the new ones that aren't used to the way it works, you know, and when they do call me, I just tell them, like, listen, I would love to come and mow your lawn and take your money. Nothing would make me happier. but your lawn is underwater, it's got a lot of soft spots, and if the weight of my machines trash up your lawn, then I have to fix that at my own cost. And that's more money and more time out of my pocket, and I'm just not going to do it. And, you know, I take pride in my work, so I don't want to trash up your yard and make it look like garbage. And then they completely understand, they're fine. I mean, it's just the way it works. You guys got to find ways around it. There's, I think, like the last video Greg made, oh my God, the guy was so full of rage, I think he lost his damn mind. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not bad-mouthing him. He's a good dude. But he went on and on that video about the PETA customers, and he was like, practically, the sound of his voice sounded like he was seconds from tears, and going on and on about customers and rain and how they freaked out and this and that. And he couldn't deal with it. I mean, he was in the game longer than 90% of us. If anybody should have known how to handle them customers, it should have been him. But whatever, everybody has their breaking point, I guess. But you know, the fact of the matter is, I've only ever had to tell one customer. They said, well, you know, I don't care if you leave marks, I don't care if you rut it up, this and that. And, you know, I tell them, well, my machines cost thousands of dollars, and I'm just not running it through 6 inches of water you have laid in your yard and destroying my machine. I'm not going to do it. You know, and I just tell them it is what it is. You know, I'm sorry, I will get there. I will take care of it. You know, as soon as it dries up and I can get to it, it'll look perfect. There won't be any laying grass, no clump grass, nothing like that. I'll take care of it. And if they don't like it, then I tell them go find somebody else. And that's just the way it is. Like, there's a guy mowing right here, actually. You probably won't even see him. Well, you might see him once I go past here. But he's mowing right there. And that company I see mowing all over, they hack the shit out of everything anyway. But they're blowing clumps like crazy out the sides of their decks. And when they're not, and they're bagging them, like they got two mowers there. One had a bagger on it, the other one didn't. You know, when they're not doing that, they're leaving ruts all over the place and tearing stuff up. It's just not something I'm willing to do. I'd rather work a couple hours later, 2-3 days a week, like I'm going to do this week toward the end of it. I know I am. Than to get a bunch of them done now and have to, like I said, repair all of customers' property at my cost, on my time. And, you know, there's some companies that are really big, and they say, you know, I have so many lawns that I have to mow them when it's raining loud, or I have to mow them or what. I don't have a choice. Well, you do, and it's kind of your fault. Not kind of, it is your fault. You either need to have more employees so that catching up isn't so hard to do, or you need to not take on more work than you can handle. I'm fully aware that, you know, once spring is over and everything mellows out and there's not as much rain, you need enough work to keep you busy all day. But in spring, if you can't keep up with those lawns without having to go in and just pound them out and rush them and skip stuff weed whacking or tear up some lawns or leaving them look like crap because you need to rush to get them done, you know, you're going more for quantity than quality, and that's going to show. And companies like that, I have no problem taking their lawns. It's so easy to do because all I have to do is go in there and mow it one time, take my time, make it look good, and that customer's soul, they realize the difference between a large company and a small company real quick. So I mean, it just is what it is. So you guys got to find ways to deal with the rain. Obviously, there's not very much I can film today, so sorry about the long talking portion. But any of you guys that have stayed on this long, I'll see what else I can throw in this video. Maybe nothing, and it may be something. I'm not really sure. Oh, I am going to get some more mounts. These mounts here for my GoPros. I usually have them everywhere. I have a couple on different mowers, so that my GoPro has the clip that slides right into this on the bottom of it. I don't undo that screw, pull it out, and change the camera every time I want to switch it. All my mounts have one of these on it. The mounts that are on the mowers, the mounts that are everywhere, all have these on them. So that when I want to switch the camera to a different angle or different spot, all I do is squeeze the tab, pop the camera out of there, pop it in the next one. The flat piece I made, if any of you guys, not many of you did, there was barely any views on it, you should check it out, but it shows how I make a lot of my own mounts. And I made a plastic piece that I guess comes with a lot of GoPros. Mine didn't come with it. So you can just set it down on different things. I just attached these to that, and I got an idea last night. I'm going to take one of those yellow tent stakes that are like kind of fat and they're flat on top, and I'm going to take one of these and put it on there. So then wherever I'm at, if I don't really have anywhere to set the camera, I can just put the camera right in there and I can just stick that stake right in the ground, and then it'll film me and then just pull it out of the ground when I'm done. So it's just another idea I came up with for another mount. But anyway, I need more of these. And I had 2 on the Freedom Z. There's 1 on the Tiger Cat, but I don't have any on the Walker. There's a couple places I want to put them on the Walker. So I got to go get more of these. Like I said, they're cheap, super cheap if you order them online, but I figured I have nothing else going on today. I might as well just go to Walmart and grab some. I know they sell them there. And then do that today. It's something to do anyway, but so yeah, so I have to go do that. Oh, and my headphones here, I put them on today and I haven't used them in a while, and I noticed the wires broke right there. I kept scratching my neck, so I guess that's on the list today too. But we'll see what comes up next. Okay, so like I said, it's raining. It's barely raining. You guys can see that. Ground's wet. You probably can't even see it coming down. It's just very lightly coming down. Not a whole heck of a lot. I took the trailer out for a walk. Well, what I did was I went out to go down to that property I was talking about, see if I can, even though they're days on a Friday, I wanted to see if I could get it hacked down, at least for now, so that I could just go in there and cut it on Friday again. It wouldn't be so bad. But like 90% of the property is still underwater, like I had said. So yeah, that's a problem. So I texted her and I told her, I said, listen, this is what I tried to do, but I'm sorry, I just can't cut it right now. I said I can work on it another time. And what the heck? I think said I can try to get in there later this week and see what I can do, but that's about the best. I said I'd rather not rut up your yard or trash my equipment. I said, you know, I'll take care of it. And she said, yeah, I'm not worried about it. She goes, I was just curious when I texted you the other day. She goes, but thank you very much. No, she goes, just do what you got to do. So as long as you stay in contact with these customers, they're cool. You just got to, don't leave them hanging, you know. But anyway, this, obviously self-explanatory, it is the flat for here. Whenever I buy a mower, the first thing I do is take these off. I hate these damn things. Because when I'm mowing in this thick grass, I want to be able to throw that grass and throw it far. I don't want stuff in my way like one of these flaps. But the thing here is that new bigger property I got, my plan, my master plan, is to mow the center median areas where like all the cars are. There's like cars in the parking lot, and then on the opposite side there is there's the street, and it's a busy street. So my plan was to just use the walker on that. But the problem is the curbs are too high and I can't get up over the curbs with the walker. Now, I found a lot of curbs that I can just go over it backwards, go at an angle like I do with this, and I can get right up it. However, the problem is I can't get the walker up those curbs because they're abnormally high. So that creates a problem. So what I did is last week when I cut it, I used this because I can back this right up over the curb. And the problem is I had to keep throwing grass towards the street, which I don't like to do. For any of you guys, I don't know how it is in your state. I imagine every state is different. Or they might all be the same, I don't know. But in New York State, it is extremely, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm going to move you down here. I don't know how well this will work, but try to balance you here somewhere. Bear with me. guess it really doesn't matter. How it is in New York State is it's extremely illegal. Not, well, I say extremely, but it's illegal to throw grass towards the road in New York State. Now, does that mean people don't do it? Hell no, it doesn't. People do it all the time, everywhere. So, whoop, flap up, flap down, flap up, flap down. So now what I'll do is I'll just keep a bungee here, and then I'll just wrap a bungee under there and over top when I want to keep it up. But so the thing is, I want to get one of those. It's called a curb jumper, and it's made by Walker, and it sits right on the front of the deck, and it's like another foot support thing, but then it comes right off, and you put it up against the curb, you back up it to go right up over a curb. And then it'll be no problem. But until then, I need to do something else, which means putting this on here so I'm not throwing rocks and grass and all kinds of stuff at all the cars in the parking lot, and so that I don't have to keep going back and forth blowing it towards the road, which it just made extra work for me because then I had to go and blow the road off. And I didn't get caught, so I didn't get in trouble, which is a good thing, but it would have sucked if I put a rock through somebody's window or something. You know, it's just something you don't want to be messing with. So but anyway, the curb jumper thing, I looked for them online. They're like $200. I'd read a post on Lawn Site that said, you know, it's worth the $75, this and that. Like 4 or 5 guys posted it. I'm thinking, where the hell did they find this thing for $75? Then I realized the post was like 6 years old, so that could be why. But so I've been on the search for a used one, can't find one. I'm probably just gonna have to call the dealer, order one, pay the $200. It would just make my life so much easier to have it. I realized I could make one, but it's just easier and simpler to have it sitting right there all the time on the deck, and then anytime I need to use it, just pop it off, set it at the curb, back up, pick it up, throw it back on the deck. So I'm gonna get one. I just haven't yet. So in the meantime, I put this flat back on there, and I will just, like I said, use a bungee and hold it up for my regular mowing that I always do, where I'm not anywhere where I have to worry about windows or things like that. I never blow grass toward a house anyway. And now when I get to areas where I need it, I'll just drop this flap down. That should take care of that problem. But that's the case, so now that's on. I guess I'm really not going to have no mowing action for this video today, but I've been posting like crazy. You guys know I'll get one up soon. So stay tuned for the rest of the week.